we have seen two small tables which we have loaded earlier. So we created a database and we were using a warehouse. So previously we created one warehouse and we created a database. By default, the database will have a schema, right? We create a table which can hold semi-structured data. So we use the variant data type for defining it. Then we created a stage. So the stage, we are just mentioning the URL alone, right? So this is what the stage is to be done. We have listed it and we have copied data into the table from the stage by mentioning the file format. Right? See that file format equal to type equal to JSON. So I'm just explicitly mentioning the type. Instead of that, you can create file formats. File formats are the set of properties, you store it in one single place, right? So that is what we give a name for that one. So instead of the type, you can give that name also. So that can be reusable. So that's the idea behind it, right? So to make the file formats reusable, same type of files, if you're switching, you don't need to mention every property at the time of copying, right? Instead of that, we store those properties inside file formats. File formats are objects which you store inside databases, right? So that is one thing, right? Fine. So then we create a view. You see that how we are addressing the JSON keys and values. So the keys are the columns we have in hierarchical keys. So city dot name, it goes to the next hierarchy over there. City dot coordinate dot lat. So that is going to the another level below one more, right? So like that, you can address these levels in a JSON. We have to mention the column name, colon, the level, then double colon. After that, we have to give the data type. So this is how we create a, this is just a select statement, and we are creating a view over the select statement. So that is what we have done. And so then we can query your view. So then we have seen that how to get data from a stage, external stage, as a CSV format. Here you see that file format equal to CSV format. CSV format is file format I have created earlier, right? I'm not explicitly mentioning the properties. So I'm doing it here. Then you can find out how many records have been loaded. And we are creating a table. And we join data from these two tables. I'm sorry, this CSV table, the table we have loaded from CSV, and a view which has been created over the JSON data, right? So both of them, that is structured and unstructured, semi-structured, we are joining them together and create one more table. I hope you have seen this. So I want you to try this one, because this is one good example we have where you can work together with structured and semi-structured data. Okay. Then I'll go here. So what I'm going to do here is we'll do a small demo where we can fetch data from stages directly into a table, right? So how we can fetch data from stages into a table. So first thing, we need to create a stage. So I'll be showing you how to create a stage in AWS initially. And then after that, we will see how we create a stage in Azure also, right? So just for this demo purpose, you can have any one of this account with you, AWS or Azure, you can have it, right? So even though it's not required, you can go for that. But unlike Snowflake, these two cloud services require your credit card information. Okay, so you need to provide your credit card information and get an account to be activated. Okay, fine. So this fine. So first thing is we create a table. Okay, so I have some sample data available here. I'll just copy that first. So I take a simple file. Okay, so I'm copying from my notepad and just pasting it. So here, if you run this one, you see that I have created one kind of a simple query. Right? So if I execute, it won't get executed because you see here, I have not selected any database or schema. So first thing is to select the database. Use ABC motors. So I can just execute. So I'm not mentioning it as a database, right? So that is optional. You can mention them or it's not required if you have unique name, right? So you have a warehouse which is being called as ABC Motors. So then the system will have some trouble. Right? So that time we have to mention that. Then we create this. So you can go here and just. Okay, I think I have created it already. So let me.
Yeah, Murali, one question, Murali.
Yeah.
This table is created under compute warehouse and ABC Motors database, right?
No. Compute warehouse is the name of a warehouse, right? So it's a warehouse,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So the warehouse is not associated with a table or database.
Okay.
Currently, so okay, I'll explain. What is the use of the warehouse? Warehouse is used to execute your queries. That's it.
Okay.
That's it. Right? No other role for a warehouse.
Okay. Nothing is stored in warehouse. That is just a name. Everything stored in the Amazon S3 bucket.
Yes. No. Yes. You are right. Because these terms are little confusing for if you are new to this, right? I'll explain one more time. See, warehouses are a name they are giving for computers. That is the processors. That's it.
Okay.
Warehouses never store any data. It is not a storage. I don't know why they have given a name warehouse for that. Because whenever we talk about warehouses, we think about these are all having databases inside them. Correct?
Yes.
It's not like here. So here warehouses are just computers. These computers contain a processor, a memory, and temporary storage.
Okay.
That's all. It doesn't have any storage at all. Temporary storage means it's something like cache memory or something like that.
Okay.
Right? That's it. Databases only can have tables, anything else. Any storage we can have in database. Stages mainly, right? Your stages are stored in databases. When you go inside the database, you see we have
whether ABC.
We have views, tables, view. Schemas are nothing but logical grouping, right? Stages. This is what important because inside stages you can store huge number of data. Similarly, inside table also, every table is having its own stage, table stage. Is that right? Then every user is having its own stage. So Snowflake is allocating some space. Some space means it is not limited actually. You can store any number of data over there. Snowflake allocate a space for every user where he can use it as a staging. He can store something temporarily or something separate from the actual database and all, right? Actual tables. He can store something separately. Those are the stages, right? File format sequences we have seen. File format is about defining what type of file. Yeah, for those. Sequences are like generating sequential numbers.
Okay.
Right. That's it.
Yeah. Here, if you are not mentioned any, I mean, database name, where the table will go and store. I mean,
if you are not using any database, the table will ask for which database. The command will ask you. Once you execute a command without a database, it will ask you. So in which database you are mentioning?
Yeah. While creating a table, we should use the database name. After that only we can create.
Definitely.
Yeah, once we use type that one, use database thing. So use ABC Motors. So then only it will go for ABC Motors database. That indicates. So if you are not using that, it will ask definitely.
Or when we write in the script also, I tried like doing like this, and it worked. Create table database name dot schema name dot table name. It worked too.
Yeah, when you're yes, that is obvious, right?
Yeah.
So when you are mentioning the full path, right? That is meant by full path. You mentioned the database name dot schema name dot table
public
name
dot stg underscore detail dealership. It worked too.
That won't ask you.
Yeah.
Yes. You already mentioned the database name here. You see that I have used ABC Motors, correct? I have used ABC Motors. So instead of that, if I am giving something like this, so demo db dot
public.
So I am mentioning something else over there. So I just run this one.
Public dot. It's comma.
So it is not asking you where it should be created. So when I go here, so when I go to public, you see STG dealership is created there.
Yes.
Even though I have used ABC Motors, even though on your URL you are seeing ABC Motors only, right? But when you are executing any command without mentioning the database, those commands will be executed under ABC Motors only, because ABC Motors is the current database now.
Okay.
So in this URL, in this URI, in the GUI, so where you see the web user interface, we can see that what is being used and all. But actually, when you are working from a client system, so you are not able to see what is currently used, right? Which database you are using currently. That's why Snowflake always recommend you to go with this structure, that is database dot schema dot table.
Okay.
It's always recommended.
Schema is public or private, only two.
Yeah, you can create, you can create. We
our
have
own
seen
schema
that.
also.
You can create some schemas.
Create our own also.
So let me go into this database. Go to ABC Motors. So I go to schemas. So create a schema here, right? Just
with our own name, whatever it is.
I'll create something like STG and temporary tables, something like so. So if you go to that one, you see it is been coming up like this only. Okay. So I finish it off. Processing. So we have now I go back to my worksheet. So from worksheet also you can create this. So I can go to this STG here. Okay. Just I remove this STG underscore. Just to, it's not required. I'm just removing just for it. I'm sorry, I'm using demo DB. I remove the demo DB also because I'm using ABC Motors.
Yeah.
You see dealership successfully created.
Yeah.
Now if you go inside ABC Motors, you have another
STG schema.
Yeah, another schema there. Under that we have dealership. It's been created.
Okay.
something like that. It's
Database
very
under
similar to
schema.
databases only, right?
Okay. Database under schema under table. It is the structure.
That's how it works.
Yeah. One more question is, we can create a schema and table at a time. So,
Okay, good thing. So if your schema is not there, whether it is going to be created or not, that is what you are telling, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's not
Here you are
correct
using.
actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll try.
Actually, we have STG schema. With that name, we don't have any schema. Yeah. Right.
That's right. I'm running
Yeah.
this one. You see that it is telling me that temp not exist. Schema
Okay. Not exist.
is not existing because this command is creating a table only.
Yeah. Yeah.
Command is used to create a table. You have commands for creating schemas also. You have commands
Okay.
for managing anything in Snowflake.
Okay.
You can change the warehouse. You can change database. You can create. You can drop. You can scale in, scale out. Anything, whatever we are seeing and whatever we are doing here in this interface can be done using queries. Hope it helps you.
Yeah.
Now we are going to create a stage, right? So I'm just going to create a stage. So I'll just go here. You see that this is what our stage is about. You see, create stage. This is the thing. I just take it and I'll go to this. If I run this command, what happens? A stage will be created for this city bike trips with this particular thing, right? So if I am running this one, so what happens? A stage will be created here. City bike trips is successfully, but it is not required for me. Just I am showing you. Stages can be created inside your databases, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Inside that. But for me, I need to create a different stage where I am going to take data for this particular dealership. I'm going to take data for that. So for that one, let me show you how to create a stage from the scratch. So let me go for the AWS. So Subbu and Aruna, you are willing to go for a AWS account, right? So you can
Yeah.
watch here. It is all simple things only. Yeah, but cloud services are having huge number of services, hundreds of services there. So which we don't need to learn all of them. Okay, it will be confusing about we don't need to learn all of them. I do training for AWS and Azure also. Okay, but we have to concentrate on some of the certificates. So that is the way we do normally. So when you are working, when you want to work on AWS, you have to find out which certificate is suitable for you and go in that path. For example, in Azure, I have taken a path for associate developer, and I have done for a data engineer. Okay, so which will be suitable for me. So that manner, I have not done any certification on AWS, but even though I'm working on that, right? So that is how it goes. So you can find which one is suitable for you, and they can get certified, and you can learn in that path because it is a very vast area where we'll be lost inside that. Okay, so a different type of security. So you can have multi-factor, right? You can get some mail, and after that you activate, you get some um, authentication in your mobile, and you can do it, right? So these are all possible over here. So first thing, what we do, so S3 is the where we store data, right? Blob storage it is. So I'll go to S3. in AWS. So where I'll be having some issues on connection, but it will come. That is what happening most of the time. I don't know why. Okay, fine. So I don't have any buckets here because I remove the buckets whenever I finish it off, because that will incur charges for me, right? So this is not a trial what I am having. So I am having a paid version. The trial is over for me. So I changed it to a paid account. Okay. So create bucket. So we have to provide a name of the bucket. So I just put SF Snowflake. Right. Okay. GoLogica, like that I'm putting it here. So I just keep the region as it is. So then go to the next. So you have a lot of properties there. You don't need to set up any of this property. Just you take a look on that. You can understand a little bit of. I think so. You have some experience already over there, right? So you can just go through that one. It is not required. We need to set any one of this now. Okay. So this is what important. So whether you want to give public access or whether you want to block these public access. So public access is something like apart from the users, which are all available inside your AWS account where you have created, or apart from the certification, apart from the key values, whichever you have, right? So how to access? So that is what we are defining here. So if I remove this, what will happen? It can be used like what you have done here. You see, create stage, you are using it just the URL alone. So whoever knows the URL, they can access it. So that is what the public access is being, right? So you know that how to do a public access, because just without any credentials, you are accessing this staging. Now we are going to create a stage where we need security should be applicable here. Okay, so just I go to the next one. So you see that we have done name and region, configuring options, set permissions. We have done that. So let me create a bucket now. So the bucket is created, right? Fine. Now I go into this bucket, and if you want, you can create folders or you can upload data directly from here. Okay, both are possible. So if I create some folders, so I just create some folders here. It's just a folder only. So where I create this folder, something like okay, so ABC Motors, like that, ABC, or stage STG ABC, like that. Okay, something like this I am creating. Then whether you want any kind of encryption, what type of encryption should be done here. So I just go with the server-side encryption of S3, which has been followed. So we have two type of encryption here. So both of them provides you the same side kind of security. So you can use what type of encryption you need. So KMS managed keys, we have to specify the KMS keys separately, right? So they're not required to go more detail now. So just I save this one. So we create a folder. Right now, I go into this folder. Inside the folder, I'm going to upload some data. So you can drag and drop files up to 160 GB inside this. So if you want to do more than 160, we have a way of splitting them and then loading it over there, right? So I have some sample data for this dealership. Okay, so let me select that data. Just a minute. I'm just going to my folders, right? I just selecting. Okay, so I have selected one text. Okay, I verified. Just to copy. I'm just dragging it. Okay, so I'm just dragging and I'm dropping it over here. Okay, you have seen that. Just it's a very small file, so very few records are there, and I upload this directly. That's it. So it's a very small file, so it has been uploaded very faster manner. Okay. So this is the way we prepare. Yeah. A kind of what do you call a staging area. We are preparing that, right? We have not mentioned that as a stage, but this is the way we create this bucket, folder, and files we are creating. Then I told you I'm not going to access this stage like this. That is, I am not giving public access to this stage. So I need to create one user. Okay, so I'll go to IAM is a service where you authentication management. Okay, authentication management. So I'll just create a user. I have some users already, right? So I add user. Okay, so I add user. I just give SF user like that. I am Snowflake user like that. I am giving some name like this. So how you want to access? That means whether you have to give a AWS management console access that will enable password. So every time you have to provide a username and password for going for that. But programmatic access is from external tools. When you are accessing this, we have to use this programmatic access. So that is what we require. Okay, we require a ID key and secret key we need. So just I go to the next. Okay, then whether you want to add this to any group or kind of thing, you can eliminate skip this also. So if you don't want to create a group and work on them, you can skip that also. You know what is the use of a group? You can group these users into having some particular credentials, particular authorization, right? So if some of these people you want to access the same kind of folder or same set of rights they should have, same set of permissions they should have. So we can create a group and we can commonly give those permissions to that particular group and assign this user to that group. Okay, that is the way it goes. So if you want to remove for all these users some of these permissions, you remove the permission from the group. So by default, all these users will get right. So that's the basic thing, which is about the groups. So what I do is you see that we can add user to a group or copy permission from existing user, or you can attach existing policies directly. From here, you can attach these policies. So whatever policy you want. So I want S3 policy. You see, if I type S3, these policies will be there. So I want to give read-only access for S3. The entire S3, I'm going to give the read-only access. Okay, that is how I'm doing it. If you give full access, they are able to store data also. If you are not, we are giving read-only access only, right? This is optional. You can provide a key value, a property, and you can provide a value for that one, right? That's it. So this is what we have. So this is only one policy I have attached, that is S3 read-only access is available for this user. So I'll create this user. So once you created a user, we see you have a download.cxv available. So this is the access key, this is the secret access key. So both of them can be downloaded. Okay, you can see here credentials.csv is downloaded for me. It's a very small file over there, right? So let me show you what is in that file. So I'll open this. Okay, this is a kind of, let me open. Go to let me open in Notepad so that it is easier for us to. Okay, so we see this is the username. So I have not mentioned any password here, so not required. And access key ID and secret access key ID. So these two are important for us. These two values are important for us. So what I do here, I'll go back to over this. Okay, so how to get the so that also we have to do it, right? So go to the S3 service. We need a link for this, right? The URL for the for this particular file we need, right? I don't know why this happens always to me. Okay, so we go for here, right? You see the go to the action and okay, right. So you can just see that you can copy this path from here. So the object URL is this, right? But the path will be like this. So you have copied the path and you can go inside. You don't need to do it here. I'm just showing you. Okay, you don't need to change this. So this is your path, actual path. Correct. You don't need to modify this credentials.csv. Okay, you should not do that. Okay, that has to be used later on every time when we are accessing. So what I do here is I'll go back to my worksheet. I think I'm doing the steps clearly. First, we create a S3 bucket. Then we load data into that one. Then we are not providing any public access. So if you want, we can provide, but Snowflake has provided us public access, right? This is Snowflake Workshop Lab is having public access. So anyone can access it, but I'm not giving a public access. So I block all public access, then create a user and provide permission to that user to access S3 buckets. All S3 buckets he can access. Similar manner, you can restrict that user to access only that bucket also. Okay, you have to change that policy. That's it. So we are not going more deeper into S3. Okay, just this is enough for us now. So what I do here, I just give this. You see now, instead of the existing one, I remove it, place it here. Okay. Then I give a different name. So I'm going to create a stage called dealers, like that. Okay. Stage called dealers. Then if I create a stage for that file, the stage will look for that file only every time, right? But we can create for this file also. That is also possible. So for one unique file name, you create a stage. So every time the stage will look for that file name only. But instead of that, if you are creating for a folder inside S3, whatever files you have in that folder, that will be taken every time. Okay. So let's see that how we can do it. The stage is created successfully. Right.
So,
Stage is being created
so
successfully.
Murli, if in the folder, if we have two different structures,
Yeah, that's right.
so
Quick go there.
how is it going to?
Definitely. that is going to affect, because if the metadata is not similar, right?
Okay.
Metadata is not similar, it is going to fail. It won't load data.
Okay.
So
The
we have
structures
to,
has to be the same.
yes, we have to mention the pattern of the file name. So those file names only should be taken. Like that we have to do.
Okay, got it.
For example, you have dealership 1, dealership 2, something like that. You can name it, or you can name it according to the dates or something like. Then if you have some other customer files there or employee files there, so those files should have a different naming pattern. You have to keep different naming pattern. Otherwise, what you have to do, you have to create separate folders and load the data separately. Both way you can do, right? We'll see that how those things are working here. So we know the command list what is that? Dealers. So I am trying to get the what do you call the files inside this stage. Okay, this stage means it is the bucket. Is that right? So if I am doing it, you see that failure using stage area because access is denied. Like that I am hitting one. So now you can figure out what is the issue, right? Is that right? Hello.
We have only
Am I
read
audible?
access, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
We have no, we don't have any access to this stage. We don't have any access to this stage because in S3 I have blocked all public access, so nobody can access it except if you have permission for that one. You got this?
Yeah, yes, model. In
Yes.
real time,
What?
if you want that permission, we have to contact the team. So we are not able to access this or provide this
Definitely.
user permissions kind of thing.
That's why
So
what
if
I
we
do.
create if we create a stage also, it will indirectly go and look for the permissions on the S3.
No, when we are creating it, that's what I'm doing a demo here. When you are creating, it is not going to the connecting with that URL, right?
Yes.
Define the URL. Only definition is here. While you are listing, the list command is fetching the contents of this S3. So it tries to fetch the contents, but it is not able to connect.
Okay.
Create stage command is not connecting. It is creating a definition here. That's all.
Yeah, it is creating a definition, but it is a read-only, right? So it has to list out the files which
Yeah,
are there in the.
it is read only for that particular user.
Oh, okay, okay. SF. Okay, okay,
Okay.
got it. Okay.
Here, what I have done in this permission, right? I have blocked all. You see, I have blocked the public access. So if you go here, you see nothing has been given. You got it? Even read object also have not been given.
Okay.
For public, okay? So public means anyone can access. You see, this URL we have used for the bike trips. That URL contains public access.
Okay, got it.
Snowflake has given, because Snowflake doesn't want to restrict for anyone. Whoever have this one, Snowflake will allow to get data from that. But in real time, it is not like, right? So for me, what I am doing, I am restricting public access. People who have proper credentials, they only can access this. And that person also will have only read access. Got it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what I do here,
Yes.
I need to Yes, yes, tell me please.
I got it. That's what I just.
Okay. So what I need to do here is I have to provide the credentials. Credentials is another keyword. I have to provide it here. In the credentials, I need to provide AWS key. I'm not sure about the syntax. Okay, let me check the syntax. Here. So I'm not good in remembering. Okay, AWS underscore key and AWS underscore secret key. Two keys are there. We have to mention both the keys. Okay. You see that we have this one, access key, this one, and the next, those two encrypted key values. So those should be mentioned, right? So let me go here. You can see that. Create stage. Creating an S3 stage. So we'll go for the directly. Both are same commands only. Only the we'll have different. You see that AWS underscore key underscore ID, AWS underscore secret underscore key. Okay, these two should be done. So AWS underscore key underscore ID. So that is what I have confusion about. Then we have to specify the key. Then after that, we have to provide AWS secret key. Just a space only, AWS secret underscore key equal to provide. That's it, right? So once you provide this credential, we are able to do that. So where these credentials are located here. So I have to copy them. I copy all from here one time. Then I provide it inside. Then this should be copied separately. Right? So I just copy this as the. Now if I create, it won't be created. So I just give this create or replace command. Okay.
Credentials equal to.
Yeah, I perfect that. Fine. This is one thing. But we need one more thing to be done. I'm just doing a demo, one by one, step by step, we'll go. So okay, dealers are successfully done. Now you see it is able to list. Correct? Got it, right? So now you are able to list. This credentials, indirectly, it is telling that you are accessing this stage using the username. So what is the username we have created? We have created a username called
SF user.
Okay, we created a user called SF user. So you are accessing using SF user. That is the meaning behind it. If you are not giving these credentials, you are not able to access. You have seen that, right? Now what happens? We are going to fetch data. Right? We are going to fetch data. So copy into the table. So we are in ABC Motors only. You can see here, we are in ABC Motors. So it is easier for us to mention just the table name alone. Okay. But you can see that I am going to use ABC Motors only. I have created in some other databases also, but not required. Okay. Not going there. We are going to use in public also. I have created this staging dealership. So what I do is I'm just going to let it be like, I don't need them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load data into this STG. Okay. So I have to write STG dot, STG is the name of the schema, right? Dealership. Copy into STG dealership from the stage dealers. Right? From the stage dealers. So let's see whether it is working or not. What else is required here? Any idea you have? What else is required? So when you go over there, so we created a stage. We are doing the same thing, copy into trips from what else is required? It is a file format, right? But
Yes.
actually, we have two ways of mentioning this file format. So either you can mention it inside your staging. I'm sorry, when you are, yes, when you are creating a stage also you can mention, or when you are copying also you can mention. But if you are not mentioning, what will happen? Let's see that what's happening.
By default, yes, we will take.
Yes, here, okay, this is a different error. It's coming up. Just to take a look on this error, user character length 7 is exceeded by string central. So something is happening. So I have given a structure. Let us see the structure here. Okay, you see that here itself we have a structure. Dealership region. I'm just highlighting it. Dealership region varchar of 7. So it can accept only 7 characters. Right? But when you do here, you see that I go for central CENTRAL, only 7 characters there. Is that right? But why it is not accepted? Why it is not accepted? So we go here. Let me open that file. This is our dealership file. You see that what is available? Central is having some codes. It is been created inside single quote. So totally it has 9 characters. Definitely it is not going to allow it. Hope you understand that what I'm saying. So you are dealing with data, right? Most of you are working in ETL and other processing. So you know what is that one?
Yes, Murli. Got the
So,
issue. Yeah.
yes, that is text qualifier. Okay, that is a text qualifier. So we have to mention the text qualifier here. Otherwise, you are not able to do it. Okay.
Yeah.
Once you have a text qualifier, we need to mention the text qualifier also. So I'm just doing a demo step by step, like how to eliminate the issues over there. So first thing, you need to provide proper credentials to access your stage. And after that, when you are extracting data from the stage, so we have to provide a file format properly, right? So you can create these commands here itself. So you see that. So the file format we are creating equal to like this. Otherwise, you can create a file format directly also. So whether you see that, we can go to so the copy into command. I'm going there. Copy into table. Copy into location is what unloading is about. Okay, we will see that later on. Copy into table. You see that what are the file format type options we have. So these are the type options we have. We have to specify field delimiter if it is required. Okay, by default it is taking comma, and we have this is the one field optionally enclosed by. So that we have to give it over here. Okay, field optionally enclosed by. So instead of including all these kind of stuff, so how we have to do is we have to do file underscore format equal to type equal to CSV, then this one. Then we have to mention this. option enclosed by that you have to mention it here equal to, because it is a single quote, we have to specify in this manner. Double quotes you have to give. So instead of doing all this stuff, so what I can do is I can create one file format, and I can use that file format here instead of giving all this stuff over this. So hope you understand that one. Okay. Anyhow, I'll just run this. Let's see. Right. So now it has loaded data from this file, and 31 rows are loaded over there. Right. So let me just check now. Select star from stg dot dealership. Okay. So that is the kind of thing. So where you load data and how you are working with this. That's fine. That's cool, right? So this is the way we are doing. From the scratch, we create a bucket and we are loading it from here. Now, if you have different file formats there, so how it can be loaded. So we have to see that also. And you just take a look on this table. I'm not mentioning any constraints here. No primary key, no constraints. Right? Even though you have constraints, you have to manage it. We will go for that later on. So Snowflake is not following the constraint rules like primary key or any other rules. It's not going to. The relationship, how you are mentioning, the primary key, foreign key constraint, these are all we are maintaining logically. It is not been implemented. You see that one, how it is formed because of the nature of this database. That is a kind of a NoSQL database. So it is not required, and these relationships are maintained only for operational data, that is for transactional purpose, right? So here we maintain it as data arrows, so where we don't require this kind of uniqueness and all to be maintained here. But if you want to maintain, you have to maintain separately. So you need to take care of, you need to take distinct values. So you have to provide those transformation, and then you have to load it over here. Okay. So Snowflake will not maintain this uniqueness and other things, even though you have mentioned. But in my table, I have not mentioned it. So what happens if I load this again? It should load again, right? Another 31 rows should be loaded again. So let me check whether it is loading those data again. Right. Snowflake is telling me that copy executed with 0 files processed. Even though I am accessing the same, it's not getting processed, right? So let me go inside this. Let me check. You see that we have go to this S3. Okay. Not required. You don't. You have to go and check here. You can check from here itself. I just put the list command. Still, I have this dealership.txt available there. Same file with 31 rows, but it is not taking it. So what's the meaning behind it is Snowflake will identify whether a data is being loaded or not. Right? If you are loading the same data again, it's not going to be loaded. So that is the way Snowflake can restrict duplicate values. That's all. The rest of the things, if you have a different file name with the same data, it's going to be loaded again. Right? So what I do is, let me do that also again for you. I have this dealership txt, right? So I just go to just copying this file and just I paste it here. Okay, and I give new dealer like that. I am giving something. Okay. New dealers like that. I'm giving a name. Okay. Then what I do is I'm going to load it into the S3. So we see. I think that's a problem in my laptop, right? So it is not loading on the first time. So when I am giving reloading it, it is loading. I hope it is a problem with my laptop. On some settings, it has been changed. Okay, so I go to this particular folder and I'm going to upload this file. So whatever file I have taken from here, right? You got it now. Then I go back to my worksheet. So I need to check whether this file is being recognized here or not. Yes, you see that I have two files here now. So when I load this over there, you see only 31 rows are loaded. The previous file has not been considered for loading. Hope you understand how it is working. It's not seeing the data. It's not seeing the data. It is seeing just the file names and the metadata of that file. So when it is created, when it is accessed, like that. Okay, it is maintaining that. Even if you have just changed the name of that file, it's going to work. Okay, that is the kind of thing. Or within the same file, if you change the data, that also will work. Okay, in the same file name, data is being changed because you are modifying it, na? Modified it and loaded. So when the file is loaded, the time of loading, and when the file is accessed, time of accessing, both will be considered by Snowflake for loading data from stages. Okay, so that is how it works here. Let me select the dealership here. You see that 62 rows are there. Obviously, you have duplicate values. So you have 62 rows ordered by dealership ID. Right. So we have duplicate. So that's how it works. So the way it works is, so you need to be careful about how to choose files from here. Similarly, as I told you, if you have different files coming up on this, that means not only dealership files, you have another table with another structure. For that, if you are loading files, you have to be careful about choosing what type of files. So you can create a stage for that particular folder, but while you are extracting, that is while you are copying, so we have to specify the pattern also there. So we see that we can have this, what should be the pattern, right? So we have to specify load using pattern match. Okay, so here I have this itself. So this is the pattern, right? Pattern tells you what the file should contain, what your what you call the what do you call that extension should be, and what type it is. So everything else you can go over with this pattern. Patterns also can be given inside file format also. Okay, so you can provide that in the file format, right? So that's the kind of thing over here. But when you take it from some other location, the files are going to be loaded again, because it is going to define the files inside your the staging only, right? So when you are loading, you can load it into when you're loading from a different stage, that will be loaded. It won't consider whether your file is old or not, because Snowflake consider that as a new file only, even though you are loading the same file again. Okay, so if you go for the previous one, that is the previous file we have loaded, okay, the new dealer or something like, if you are putting it in a different stage, how it can be loaded. One thing. Another thing is, when you are taking data from your local file system, how it can be loaded. Remember, you cannot create a stage for local file system. That means that how you are creating a stage here, you create a stage URL you have given. Similarly, you cannot address your system, your local environment there, right? It is not possible to do that here. So copy into a table from local file system, not possible. Okay. Copy into table from a stage only, it's possible. You know the type of stages we have: table stage, user stage, and internal and external stages, right? So those are all coming either in Snowflake internal stage or external means either any one of these three cloud services. Okay, so no other way to create a stage. Right. Fine. So what way you can get data from a local file, a local location? So how we can do it? So this is how the put command is coming into effect for us. So you see that when you are going for a put command, the put command is going to be very effective. So when you are fetching data from your local system, right? So it can upload files from a local folder to any one of the stage. Okay. After that, we have to use the copy into command and load the data from stage. So two steps required. From the stage, you can copy it directly into a table if the stages are any one of your cloud service folders, S3 or anything else. But if you have a local file system, you have to copy it into a stage, and then we have to copy it into the into a table, right? So these stages can be only internal stages, any one of the internal stage. You cannot copy a local file by using this put command into S3 or somewhere. Okay, that is not possible. So you can copy into what do you call the Snowflake stages only. That is a kind of thing. So this is how it looks like. Right? So put internal stage, so parallel, auto compress, source compress, override. These are all the options available. So you know overwrite what it is, what it means, right? So it is going to create a copy or overwrite them. Source compression is the one in which format it is being compressed over there. So you can provide auto detect, and the Snowflake can detect the way of compression, and it can apply the proper appropriate algorithm over there. Okay, that is one thing. Or if you know that how which way it is compressed, you can mention them also. Right? Auto compress true false. So we have to do it along with the source compression. Auto compress true means then only the compression will happen. Okay, you can switch off this at any point of time. Auto compress false you can do. Then what do you mean by parallel? That is what very important. So parallel, when you are taking this, you see that this is a very useful one. So when you load large files, so when you are loading some huge number of files, these files can be splitted into small chunks of files, so chunks of data. Okay. So you see that when you are having a compressed size of less than 16 MB, it is not going to affect anything. Okay, if you have a file which is having less than 16 MB of size, so that will be loaded as a normal file. If you have more than that, what happens? These are automatically split into chunks and staged concurrently, which are reassembled later by the target stage. So you will be having single thread which can upload multiple chunks. Then you can increase these threads also. Threads also can be increased here. So the default value of this is the thread integer. So default is 4. Then you can increase or decrease the number of threads to be used. So what is the use of these threads here? So anywhere, whenever you are using a put command or anything, any command, whatever you are using, it is going to use the which is associated with the warehouse, which is associated with. So the warehouse will take this and it will process them in parallel manner. Okay, you can use up to 99 threads for uploading files. So whenever you are loading these files, it is going to provide multiple threads. Parallelly, the load can happen. This is very one useful one, and maybe in your exam, certification exam or interviews, and also they will be asking about this. So how to manage a huge file load, okay, from your local system will help you more. Okay, something like that. So how to execute this parallel put command? Put command cannot be executed from here. Okay, see that I'm having a put command here. Let me go for this. You see that? Okay, this is one kind of put command. Put file colon slash slash something like that. It is happening here. Okay. You see that this is how the put command is being given. So let me select the put command. So we have file colon slash slash some local thing you have taken. So I go for this. You see, training directly I have given. Let me take that file. Okay, d colon slash new dealers.txt. So I can just put this d colon new dealers.txt. And I'm going to load autocompress 2. If I'm mentioning this, what is the meaning behind it? If I'm mentioning over here, right? See that? Okay. This is the user stage. You see, we are loading a file into the user stage. So when you are mentioning the tilde symbol, this is mentioning it is a user stage. So that means that I can use my own stage. So the user, what I am doing here is with Murali 2020. So that user stage, it will be loaded there, right? From that user stage, I can load. So if you are loading any data into a user stage, only that user can use that, right? So nobody can access other than this user. Okay, that is the kind of thing. So how to run this? So if I run this one, what will happen? Let's see. So if I run it, it is telling you command is not supported from the UI. So from the UI, you cannot do a put command. So we need an external client to be execute this put command. Okay. So that external client, we call it as SnowSQL. So let me open SnowSQL here. Okay. So this is the SnowSQL. Right. So how to first you have to install SnowSQL into this, right? So that is what required. So first we have to install the SnowSQL. It is a just a small installation. You know that how to install. I have shown you yesterday, I think so. You can go to help. You can go to download and select the SnowSQL which is been required over here. Okay. So what we do is we right, this is the one. So whichever is required for you, so just you can click that particular link over there, right? Then it will be downloaded. So once it is downloaded, it is a simple what do you call a simple installation process. It's a very straightforward. Just you click install, it will be going to be installed over there. Okay, so that's how it works. So once installed, it is not enough. So what you have to do is let me just show you how the Snowflake is working. Just I'll do a very quick access. We can see that tomorrow also, right? So let me go. Just I put it here. So this will provide you the help menu, right? You see, it's provide you the help menu. So these are the parameters you can pass through, right? These are the options you have. So you have to mention the account name within a text. So the account name is, remember, this is your account name, except snowflake.computing, except that what it is. So this is my account name, okay, bb35921.ap-southeast1. So for you also, you might be having something. So that is what we are mentioning it as account name. Then your username, you know the username. So Murali 2020 is the username what I have. So the database name, scheme name, role name, you see that every one of them, you have this option you have to mention, right? Mention password, passcode, a lot of options over there, right? Fine. But instead of mentioning all of them, so what I can do is I just give SnowSQL -c, that is the connection. -c is a connection. I don't remember what is the connection. So how to create a connection? First, we will see that one. So what you have to do is we need to go to the users. So go to this. We have NoSQL, right? You have to go to this path, your username, right? Particularly your username in Windows, and to the path. I hope everyone is using Windows. Anybody using Linux? No, right? So if you are using
Yeah,
Linux, you have
Windows.
to see the path over there. Okay, fine. So I go to this config file and open it with Notepad simply, right? And you see that you might be having different connections over there. So this is what I have created a connection. Okay, my name is MKT. So I have created a connection for this. You see, this is my account name, this is username, password, and what warehouse I should use, what database I should use. So I am giving all this information over here, right? That's it. So once you store this information, you don't need to give this information every time, but you have to keep this config file and all very safe, securely, because your password is being mentioned without encryption, right? But if you don't want the passwords to be stored there, you just remove the password. So when you don't have a password, while connecting, it will ask you the password. You have to specify it. Okay? That's the way it goes. So I here. Okay, that's case sensitive. Say that it is case sensitive. So you see, now it is connected. Murali 2020. That's my account name, and this is the first one is your warehouse name, and the second one is your what do you call the what do you call the database name, right? So for example, if I, yeah, so if I go for select or from, so it will help you. So what all the, you see STG dealership is there, so it can help you to get it done. So I have not loaded anything over there, right? Similarly, you can use the warehouse. Use warehouse. What warehouses you have? Currently, I'm using load WH, so I can use this warehouse also. Now you see that it is being changed in the prompt, command prompt. It has been changed. Similarly, you can change the database also, right? So if you are mentioning, you see I have given demo DB, I think so. Use ABC Motors dot schema STG. Okay, that I am using. I think I have loaded here only. Then I can put dealership. Okay, that's how it works. Not only this, I'm just giving a demo with some easier commands. So you can execute any kind of command from here. Kind of command you can execute from here. So this command, what we have executed here, okay, this put file command. So I'm just copying this command from here and directly put it. I'm executing this. Now you can see that your target, this is the target, so how much time it has taken. So the data is uploaded. You can upload this data over there. So now what you have to do is we need to copy into other file you can copy. So copy into ABC Motors. dot public dot stg underscore dealership from, you can just copy data from there. So directly it will take it from your stage, that means the user stage, right? So if the data is in proper structure, which can okay, again, you know that what is the issue. I have to mention this file format from there, right? So I just copy it. Same file format is required. So that is how. That is why we use a file format separately. So we don't need to mention them every. I'm sorry, I'm doing it wrongly. Copy, paste it.
We can't hear you.
Hello?
Hello. We are unable to
Yeah.
hear you.
Is that? Got it?
Yes, now I got.
Yes,
I got it.
got it.
See that we have the number of columns in file does not match the corresponding table. So we need to use file format option, error on column count mismatch equal to false, to ignore this error. So we have to use that. I'll explain you why this is happening, right? When you are loading files from there. So what way it is happening over there. So you can just check this one. You see the size which is being used. Okay, the put command has taken data directly from your local file, and it is being loaded there, right? So that I am using it for loading into this ABC Motors STG dealership, right? So that is where it is telling number of columns in file does not match. So why it happens here means, so whenever you are fetching data from these tables, so the column numbers can be added. That means you are loading into a location where you are using it for user stage, right? So there it might not be having column end, that is the delimiters are not specified correctly. Got it? I have not specified the delimiters properly. So you have to specify the delimiters also. So what delimiter it is, that is the file type is CSV, and what is the delimiters used, what are the text qualifiers used, like that. If not, it is going to give you that issue only, right? That is what this issue is about. So what we have to do is we need to use error on column count mismatch. This is one option we have. So you can see that here we have, this is in the okay, file format option. So you can check that what is the file format. So here we have an option called error on column mismatch. So the column mismatch you can ignore them if you are having any column mismatch available. So that is how it's been taken here. Okay, so this is the file format. You see, error on column count mismatch equal to true or not. So we can specify them so that we can run and get this done. Okay, so it is time now. So let me just check this tomorrow. We will continue with this. So any questions so far?